Hello guys, welcome to another session of Excel tips and tricks. Today we're going to look at three cross-referencing functions. One called VLOOKUP, one called HLOOKUP, and the other match and index. Now what does VLOOKUP stand for? VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup. So we are looking up transactions, dates, text in columnar formats. Okay, so we're looking up by columns. Now, to actually go and find the VLOOKUP function, it's under your formula tab. And in your function library, it's under lookup and reference. Okay, so we can go and then search for VLOOKUP. Okay. All right, so it's asking you, what do you want to look up? What is your lookup value? So in this scenario, we're going to actually do a cross-referencing function or a VLOOKUP to look up for the corresponding check number from our bank statement so we can complete our outstanding checklisting. Okay. All right, so again, under our format tab, a lookup and reference. Go to lookup, select VLOOKUP, and for our lookup value, we're going to look up our check number. Okay. Now, in our table array, we're going to use for our table the actual bank statement. As I mentioned, we're looking for the corresponding check number on our bank statement. So we're going to use the bank statement as our table array. Now, what's important here is that the column that the bank statement is in must be the same column we are using for our lookup. Okay. So in this scenario, we're going to use column C because our check number is in the reference field, and we're going to highlight as well the respective transactions we want to do. Okay. In this scenario, since we want the check number and also the amount, we're going to highlight column C, column D, and column E. Alternatively, you could have also highlighted the entire column. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is then indicate what is our column index number. Now, our column index number is the value we want the correspondent value to come from. Being that the check number is in column C, and thus our first reference number is indexed as column 1. Column D would be our second reference number, and column 3 our third reference number. So in this case, we put 3. And if we want to find an approximate match, we will type the word true. If you want to find an actual match, we'll type the word false. All right, guys, it's not case sensitive, so we can type it in lowercase. And select OK. All right. So you'll see here that in terms of our reference, we're picking up from here our check number, and it found a corresponding match on our bank statement. Okay. All right, so we're going to copy down this formula. And you'll see that it found several checks, but for others, it did not find it. All right, so we're just going to filter. And just highlight those that it did not find. Okay. All right, so these are checks that were not located on the bank statement as it. And this is our outstanding checks. Okay. All right, we're going to move across to look at now HLOOKUP. Now, HLOOKUP stands for horizontal lookup. So in this scenario, we're going to look up for data by rows. We have 3 individuals. We have their salary information. We have what their commission is. And we also have what their net pay is. So for our lookup, we want to find for these 3 employees their salary, their commission, and also their net pay. Now, to find where HLOOKUP is, again, under our formula tab, in lookup and reference, we're going to select HLOOKUP. Okay. Now, in this scenario, we're going to look up. What we're going to look up, we want to find the salary. So we're going to look up the salary. For JJ, so we're going to select JJ. We're going to indicate our table array, which is our range. And in this scenario, we're going to select what is our row index number. So just like we just did with VLOOKUP, we're going to count the respective rows. So the employee's name is in row 6, so that's indexed as the first row. The salary is in row 7, so that's the second row. So our row index number will be 2. Okay. And again, if you want to find the exact match, we're going to select false. All right, so we're going to copy this function across. So we're just going to make our array a absolute cell reference. Guys, we'll have a separate session on this. Speak about relative and also absolute cell references. Okay. Now our commissions is not in our second row, it's in our third row, so our reference here is going to be 3. And our net pay is not in our second row, but our 8th row, 7th row, so the 7th. Okay. Now we're going to copy down this function to pick up for both KK and also LL, their salary, their commission, and their net pay. Okay. Now, match and index is the third lookup and reference function we'll cover today. We're going to look up from here the revenue and also net profit for company A, company B, and company C. Now, index is what we do if we want to look for a particular record and reference as well the column and also row. Now, match allows us to do a comparison and identify the corresponding value that we're looking up in the array. So index and match work interchangeably. Now, for this function, I'm going to type index. I'm going to start by using the index function. I'm going to indicate what the array is. So in this scenario, it's the array. We're going to reference as well what we're going to replace the row number reference with the word match. We're going to select revenue as our lookup type, and we're going to look for the word revenue in column A based on that range. and you want to identify an exact match. All right, so 230 million is our revenue. Then, being that we're going to copy this function across, extract same. For our net profit, we're going to make both our index and match array an absolute cell reference. The same for company B. We're going to match our revenue. Then we're going to select our range. And again, guys, you want the exact match, okay? And the same for company C. Perfect. All right, guys, thank you for watching. And again, thank you for going through with me another set of Excel tips and tricks. Remember to subscribe if you like this video. Plus, as well, please share your comments if there's anything else you want us to go through. Thank you very much.